I now call to order the meeting of Empire State Development's Governance Committee meeting for Wednesday, June 10th, 2015. I'd like to note for the record that this meeting is being webcast. The committee members have received the relevant agenda in advance of today's meeting and are free to ask questions at any time. After each item is presented and any comments are received from the committee members, we will allow members of the public to provide comments. All comments should be limited to 2 minutes and should only address the item that is under consideration. First of all, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Benson Martin. I'm the Director of Compliance at ESD. I'll tell you a little bit about my background. After clerking for a federal district court judge and working as a senior associate at Bryan Cave doing litigation and compliance, I transitioned into government. So I worked as an administrative law judge for New York City and also worked as a litigator for the New York City Law Department before coming to ESD.
Where did you clerk for?
Clifford Scott Green of the Eastern District of Pennsylvania, Philly.
Yeah, good.
So the objective, and why we're all here, is to provide a framework for what the committee will address in the next year. So first, there's going to be a change. We're going to increase the frequency. Going forward, we will meet 3 times a month, 3 times a year, June, October, and February. So we feel that this will be good to both advise you so you can recommend things to the board, but also just keep you informed and keep you in the loop of everything that's going on in ESD. So what we'll discuss at these meetings are and include annual compilation of evaluations, which we'll discuss today, committee structure, corporate policy, bylaws reviews, internal controls and risk management, mission statement, and performance goals. So if you have any questions, do you have any questions about what we will do in the future? No? So I'd like to discuss a little bit about the role of the Governance Committee. So the Governance Committee was prescribed by Public Authorities Law, Section 2824-7, and it gives the committee certain responsibilities, such as to keep informed of best governance practices, to review corporate governance trends, and to recommend updates to the authority's corporate governance principles. Any questions so far?
So far, so good.
Okay. Any comments from the public? So I'd like to discuss the evaluations, the ESD board evaluations that we received. And so just a warning that these evaluations are anonymous and confidential, so please keep this in mind when we discuss this in the meeting. So although the overwhelming majority of the evaluations were positive, we feel that every voice matters when it comes to the evaluation. So in response to the 2014-2015 ESD board self-evaluations, going forward, we will increase the frequency of governance committee meetings, as I mentioned before, and we'll have more discussions regarding ESD's internal controls and risk management.
That came out of the questionnaires, is that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Correct. So we received the evaluations from all the board members, and we tallied them. And again, even though the majority were overwhelmingly positive, some members had concerns, so we'll address it going forward.
Yep. Right.
Benson, I have a question. You know, at the tax department, you recently hired, or in the process of hiring, a new member of our legal team, a new attorney, recommended to us by the governor's office, specifically Linda Lacewell, as part of this, I guess it's an enhanced system of risk analysis and control from the governor's office. And it's my understanding that Linda is looking to identify key people in every agency, or key person, and that would be like a liaison to her, to the chamber, and that would really be there focused on on risk management. I'm probably not getting this all right, but it's been our view, and like I said, I was part of the interviewing process of the candidate that's coming to join us, and it all seemed very appropriate. And I'm just wondering to what degree this effort to step up the activities of the Governance Committee and to have you, as you just mentioned, risk management, is this part of that overall effort? And what's happening here at ESD with respect to the rest of the, maybe Liz, I don't know if you know, I'm trying to connect the dots between what's happening with the statutory agencies and departments and what may be different in the world of authorities.
So you're asking a couple of questions. So first, we have a special counsel that reports to Linda Lacewell, and so she does work as a liaison between ESD Legal.
Who's that?
Well, she reports to Linda and also to our president and CEO. Her name is Felisa Hockheiser.
Okay, so you're a new person.
Yes.
Yeah, got it.
Yes.
Oh.
And
which?
Melissa, would you like to introduce yourself?
Your timing is great.
Yeah, we were just talking about you working as special counsel and
Felisa
reporting on the
Hockheiser,
governance committee
working as
role.
the-
Kevin was.
You want to do a 2-minute description of what you do, and that,
Sure.
that was Kenneth's
Yeah, you want-
question.
Certainly. Hi, I'm Felisa Hockheiser. I'm Special Counsel for Ethics, Risk, and Compliance at ESD. The governor has instituted a program with Linda Lacewell, who was counsel to the governor, but has just been named Chief Risk Officer for the state. And it's a program to minimize risk across the state. And risk really is, very involved, very, very much a part of the private industry now, and the governor's trying to make it part of the public sector, and New York State's really, I think, in the forefront of this. And so people like me are being placed at every agency, not every agency, but most agencies. You can see the announcements, and the idea is to take what's good at every agency and have us speak to each other and then disseminate those good policies and procedures at other agencies, and then to sort of draw from other agencies also, and maybe make statewide change. And then also within the agency, I speak to Benson and to the ethics officer and to Liz and to Carrie often to discuss sort of things that we can just work on within the agency. So my bailiwick, if you will, is compliance and ethics and risk, and the idea is to really streamline government and disseminate best practices across the state.
Is there an equivalent to your position at corrections?
Yes, there is. And that wasn't his fault. I know, actually, I wrote, how was your weekend? So, yes, he's someone at Docs.
They need
I
10
didn't
of
say
you.
that, Mark. I
At
didn't ask
Docs.
that.
Well, Docs is, 20% of the state employees, I think, are employed at Docs. So they have a big
Is that
agency.
right?
When this is over, it'll be a smaller number of people.
Again, not my area.
I assume we're concerned with other kinds of risk management.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the ultimate risk.
Yes.
But yes.
And
Thank you, that's
And another question he asked is, why are we increasing the number of meetings per year? And part of it comes from the evaluations, and also just to keep you guys informed of what we're doing, so that you can serve the board better.
That's good. I think also as a member of the governance committee, I would feel better. I would feel really, to be better informed about what's happening. So I think it's a good move.
Any questions?
No, I think, let's put it in place and
Okay.
see how it works.
All right.
It sounds like a good move.
Any statement from the public?
Were those the only issues in the annual evaluations?
Yes. Anything else?
Can I ask an off-the-record administrative question? I haven't done, Debbie, I haven't done it yet. My campaign, what's it called, the disclosure, financial disclosure? Yeah.
Oh, I need to do it
Yes.
also.
See, I didn't have Liz, breathing down my neck to get it done.
Oh, I'm happy to, though. I
I'm
can
good.
sit with you.
It's just such a pain. So I confess that I need to do that, but for this and Atlantic Yards too. Just so people know, I have let's see if it sticks in the schedule, but I'm supposed to have breakfast with Alfonso David, I think, next week after session's over, and at which I'm going to ask him what roles the governor's office wants me to continue to have when I'm done with tax at the end of the month. So that's the Atlantic Yards question. Do I continue to chair that or not, and that's participating on the ESD board and therefore on this committee. So I say all that just to let my friends know. Derek, I'm willing to continue to serve, but I'm going to talk to Alf until I figure what's happening in my life and, see what time constraints might exist. But right now, I don't have any time constraints, and I'm happy to help out. But I'm going to talk to Alfonso, and then we'll let you know.
Great.
I think we're short of, how many board members are we short?
Several.
No,
Yeah.
What's a full, is it for
At least two.
Well, someone's up now, waiting to be confirmed, so hopefully that will happen.
Oh,
Was that the gentleman who sat in the bleacher seats at the last meeting?
A woman,
Okay.
and I think they are hoping before the June board meeting, but we don't have anything scheduled yet. So then I think we'll just have one.
We've been pressing for new board members in the waning days of the legislative session.
Which technically ends Wednesday, right?
I think so.
I mean, it's the scheduled ends
Yeah,
Wednesday.
and then we have to hold our breath for a long time.
Well,
What's
it's-
a full board would have how many members?
8.
8. And now we're down to 5.
Yeah.
6. 6.
So it's additional.
Yeah, this is a tricky issue for me at tax because Jerry Boone, who runs the Civil Service Commission, my successor, can't leave civil service until he's, that position, until he's confirmed as the new tax commissioner. So if there's going to be Senate confirmation hearings, it would be, they'd have to roll up Jerry, ESD board members. I mean, it's running out of time.
Yeah.
There are others also.
And
There are
there are other
appointees.
vacancies. Yeah,
Yeah.
and no, I'm just thinking of the ones in my world.
And there are
that-
things like the Port Authority and the,
Right.
so
But that would affect the board, the ESD board. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll go into next steps and our next meeting, which will be held in October. And at that meeting, we'll have an overview of internal controls. And this also was born out of the evaluations that we received. And we'll also have a review of ESD's mission statement and performance goals, which you received approximately 2 months ago.
Can I raise something? And I don't know if the recent controller's audit that we went over, which I thought was very helpful. If the board could automatically be sent the controller's audits so that we're aware of what issues they see. I'm not saying that I necessarily agree with the issues that they raise, but we should at least be aware.
Yeah, good point.
But usually there's also a staff response, right? So,
Yeah.
you get
and
the
so
whole-
you would want to
Yeah,
get
so
the
we
whole
want
package.
the whole package, right,
Because it'd
yeah.
be better to read them together. Really,
Oh.
and walk around with, for months with this cloud. What's going on,
So it just so happens that I'm ESD's point person for OSC audits, so I can handle this, and to the extent that you'd like to discuss it in committee meetings, I can do that as well.
Great.
Good.
Any questions?
Hopefully there won't be too many more in the next few months, but
I would guess that it's unlikely, unless you're aware of any that are happening,
well,
it's
some
unlikely.
are DED related and some are ESD related. So we have one pending on MWBE.
I was going to say MWBE is
DED.
DED,
Yeah.
yeah, and we have an
Excelsior,
Excelsior.
but
is
DED
That's DED as well.
Yeah.
So, and the internal controls one that was just completed, was that DED
Right.
or ESD?
That was the corporation.
Corporation, so that's one we can circulate.
OSC did an audit of
A follow-up,
Yeah.
actually,
On
of
internal
internal
controls?
controls. Yeah, it
Huh.
was pretty positive. They found that.
yeah, no,
We did what they had recommended.
from the
So
last
if they don't like what you're doing.
one. You're right. We're doing what you told us.
Right.
Interesting.
All right. If there are no further questions, we will now adjourn. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Vince.
you.